Okay. So Irene, I made some really pretty slides. I'm hoping that you approve them because Irene's really particular, you guys, about my PowerPoint slides, and I revamped them. I think they're pretty, but we'll see.
I'm sure they're amazing.
So this is so every month we do a new coach like kickoff call and also just like a new coach mentorship. And so if you're watching the recording, this is, you probably joined or started your coach business somewhere in the middle of the month, but we tried to do every like the one a week for like the first month. So this call is really just like us wanting to like kind of tell you about your team of coaches and like who you're getting involved with and like people that are probably going to be like, you know, mentors with you on this journey and stuff. And depending on which coaches get on, like, so tonight it's me and Irene and Lindsay. We're going to kind of share our stories a little bit, how we got started. And then I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I can figure this out. Okay. So this, look, I added Lindsay and Rachel to this.
That's awesome.
Yes. So we have a Facebook group. I'm pretty sure you're already in there. If you're not, you should be in this How to Build a Badass Business. It's a smaller coaching group, so it's a little bit more intimate. You can ask more questions maybe than some of our uplines have bigger groups. Like Kaylee's group, the Ignite group, is a little bit bigger, and then the Dream Team is our like uplines group, Melanie Mitro, and so that's got like lots of people in there, so it can get a little overwhelming. So we created this group probably about a year ago just to kind of keep our people maybe feeling like they can ask more questions. It's just a little bit less intimidating. So, and we think it's going pretty well, but we'll just see. So today's agenda, we're going to just, like I said, share some of our stories with you and then give you some really simple, there's like 4 things that you're going to have like a little bit of homework, and it's super simple. So first steps and how to launch your business. So first of all, you're a new coach, and we're super excited to welcome you to our teams. Irene and I partnered up a while back, and it's been going really well. We're like, she makes this business so fun. Like, I don't know, you know, like anything in life, like there's ups and downs, and this business is like no different. And I don't know what I would do if I hadn't found you, Irene. It would be like, I know I would still be doing this because it's like what I want to do, even if I win an $800 million lottery, but I don't know if I'd have as much fun. So our goal with our mentorship program this next month is to help you feel like empowered, and we really don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Like, that's not the goal at all. But if you get overwhelmed, just know that's totally normal, because it's a lot, and that will go away and then probably come back and then go away and come back. So it's super normal though. And so the hope is that we help you create a plan that'll help you reach your goals. And that's going to look different for every coach on our team, because you are the CEO of your business. You get to set your pace. I'm on a call. Thanks. You get to set your pace. You decide how big and how far you want this to go. But I think I was going to talk to you guys about something else. Expectations too. So we want to manage your expectations. So just like with your health and fitness journey, Team Beachbody, being a coach with us on our team, when we sign up new challengers, I'm like, one of the things I always tell people is like, this is not a quick fix. Like, when you signed up to like go on your health journey, like, I never promise people like you're gonna lose, you know, like some of those, like, we don't sell like magic diet pills or these wraps that like promise you the world. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. And same with this coaching business. Like, you're not going to like by the end of the year be making 7 figures. Like, we are going to tell you that right now, but like in 2, 3, 4 years, it's totally possible. And we want that for you if that's what you want. And so again, you get to set the pace, you get to decide. And we're not reinventing the wheel. You don't have to like go out and like come up with all these marketing plans. We have a team of like coaches who tell us, help us with strategy and how to market. And we're going to help you with all that stuff too. And we're going to be working from a list, and we're going to go over that, I think, in week 2 and 3 of this training. And so you don't have to worry about that right now, but like, we have all the tools and all the resources to help you. And it's really just about you showing up consistently, just like you do in your health and fitness journey, showing up just a little bit, like small, consistent, like steps over time will like make a huge difference. And as long as you don't quit, like you can't fail at this business. So, who are we? We are CEOs of our own businesses, and you're a CEO too, which is really cool. So Lindsay, Irene, and I are all on this call tonight, and we're going to talk about our stories. So Lindsay, do you want to start? Tell your story. How did you get started coaching? What made you say yes?
Oh, because you wouldn't give up. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to interject because I think that this is something that you should be grateful for. I don't know why I'm pointing at you, because I didn't have somebody recruit me like this. And I feel like I don't relate to this side of the story because the Today Show happened, and it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's very important that you have this part of your story. Keep going.
No, I am super grateful. I mean, like, I mean, a lot of people, just don't even know that like coaching is an option. So like, I am super grateful. And like, one of the reasons that I think I decided to coach, because like I was watching Alicia for a while. We went to high school together. So like we were already Facebook friends and whatnot. I was just like watching her like fitness journey and whatnot. And we had messaged about Beachbody, but I was living in Madrid at the time. So like couldn't do it. But I just kept watching her, and then I was watching like her kind of coaching journey, and she's just like, oh, I'm on vacation and I'm working. And I'm just like, that looks really nice. Like, I want to be able to do that. So when I got back to the States, I signed up for Beachbody. I was like the heaviest I've been. I was super lazy. Didn't have a job, you know. So like I started just on my own, you know, health journey with like water bottles and nothing, and just kept going. I think like the first month was super hard for me, like didn't see a lot of progress, but you know, I have a good coach, so I kept going, and and then I started to see a lot of progress, and I just like, I think naturally just wanted to share that. And it helped because I got bonus points for my challenge groups. So, you know, I'm about prizes. I'm not going to lie. So I shared some kind of like transformation picture on social media, which was really scary, but like so many people were like, oh my gosh, you look so happy. And what are you doing? Cause like even people in real life were saying like, you just seem so happy and blah, blah, blah. And I just started telling people and sharing about it. And then I would like connect them with Alicia, and then they would join. And she was just like, why are you sending me all these people? Like, why don't you just coach them? Like, you're already doing it. We were having all these like 3-way conversations, and I was helping them. And I was like, I don't know. I was scared at first for sure, because I was not a like big social media poster before. I did not want to be salesy. Like, I hate the idea of sales. I mean, like all the things. I don't want to like stalk people online or try to like make random friends on Instagram. Like none of it. I didn't feel like I knew enough to be a coach. I don't know anything about like exercise and nutrition, you know, other than like what I had experienced, but like, I know now that that doesn't matter. Like, yes, there are people that have expertise in those areas, but like Beachbody provides all of that for our people, which is really nice. We have the nutrition experts, we have the trainers, and we just kind of are like, I guess, the liaisons between that. And all I needed to do was like share my experience. And that was already enough. Like I was already getting people interested in what I was doing just because I was putting it out there. So it just kind of happened naturally, and I'm excited about it. So it's been like what, 9 months, 10 months?
Yeah, didn't you sign up in November, December? I forget what your December.
Yeah, I think it was like officially November, but we were like doing stuff before that. So, but yeah, and I loved it so much that I was not putting all of my effort into my real job because I wanted to be coaching all the time. So I left teaching to coach. So yay. And I couldn't be happier about that decision.
I love it. I just have to say, I remember every time I would talk to you and you'd give me your objections about coaching, and I always felt so bad about myself. You're like, I'm not that type of person that would like post something every day. And I was like, is she like attacking me right now? Like I post every day. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just not gonna be like that. But now you are. And I think you realize that it's not just about you being like vain or like nerd, you know what I mean? Like it's about you sharing your hope and your journey and hoping that someone is inspired. So I think it's really cool. It's
Well,
really fun to watch.
if you hadn't been posting every day, then I wouldn't
Right.
be here now. So I try to do that for the next person.
Exactly. Paying it forward. Okay, Irene, why did you decide to get started?
Well, I mean, I think what happens most often and what happened with me was, after my first experience with Beachbody, which was, I don't know if you know this story actually, Mumtaz, but, when I was pregnant with Zachy, no, right after I had Zachy. So it was like 8 years ago is when 21 Day Fix came out. And one of my friends was doing it and she was like, it was the DVDs. And she's like, why don't you do this with me? Cause we had kids like at the same time. And, so we both had like, 4-month-old kids. And, so whatever coach she had like randomly gotten when she bought her DVDs, she just connected me with, and I reached out to that girl and I was with her for a while in her challenge groups, but it was very different than the experience that I've had recently. And, I didn't connect with her very much, like personally, like her struggles were not my struggles. And so I found myself able to like make a lot of excuses and be like, oh, well, she can do this because XYZ, but like people like me can't do this because whatever. And then it became very like pushy, salesy towards Shakeology. And it was just like, it turned me off totally. And I like shunned Beachbody. I was like, I like hated it. And so for a long time, I went back to what I had been doing before that bout with Beachbody, which was like, the crazy thing is I like had pretty good results. I did 21 Day Fix and I obviously had good results because everybody does if you actually do it. But then the experience with that coach like really soured everything. And I went back to trying to go to the gym and whatever. And then the more kids I had, I gained more weight, the less time I had to go to the gym. And then it just kind of like all became what it was. So when the Today Show happened, I was definitely at my like lowest in every aspect, like personally confident, like I had zero confidence. I was super defeated with like, I always felt like I'm never going to be able to figure this out. Like I'm always going to struggle with my weight. I'm never gonna be able to figure this out. And it would really piss me off and I would get really frustrated. But then it would just make it worse. And I would, keep doing the bad things that I was doing. So when the Today Show happened and I went all in, and I was also able to, drink Shakeology on my own terms and say like, okay, I'm not doing this because the coach is forcing me. Like they gave me 3 free bags of Shakeology and they told me that this is how, like Autumn told me, this is how I wrote the program and I expect you to drink it every day. I was like, okay, I'm going to drink this every day. And so until I was able to do it like that and like notice the changes for myself, instead of like trying to listen to this girl I didn't relate to who like never had an issue with her weight. Like her before picture was her 9 months pregnant picture. And then she was skinny again 2 months later. And I'm like, I don't relate to you at all. Like, I can't do this. And so when I didn't have that cloud of judgment, like filtering everything that I thought, I was able to actually go all into everything. And the groups, there was that 40,000 person like challenge group. Which to be quite honest, in the beginning, I was like, this is annoying as shit. I'm like used to scroll through Facebook and like see my friends. And now all I'm seeing is these like random strangers posting that they're doing 80-day obsession. You know, like it really did at the beginning. I was like, this is annoying to me. But then I realized like once it started to get hard after the first week or the second week, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like a long 11 more weeks. And I would start to see people's transformation, but like the group started making more sense to me. As the journey went on and I started to get to the roadblocks. And so like all these pieces that I think people normally learn when they get into a challenge group and they have a coach with them, helping them, and they have just the support of the community where people understand that it's difficult, but also help you get through the tough parts. It started to like make more sense to me. And obviously I was feeling very transformed in a very short amount of time. It was only like 4 weeks in. But it wasn't, I mean, like, I didn't even really understand what coaching was, because even when I was with that other chick, like so much had changed because it was on BOD now. And I was just like not aware really of it. So I didn't know much about it at all. And I saw Autumn go to Summit like a few days before we went to New York for one of the check-ins on the Today Show. And I just remember watching her stories and like, I remember telling her, like, I don't know where you just were, but like, I know that it was something with Beachbody and like, I have to do that. Like, what is that? I need to be a part of it. And that's when she like connected me with Kaylee. So basically I feel like the way that I got into it is so random and different. And like, nobody has that story. So I like, I have this weird, like, I don't have that, like, thank God you kept messaging me for months and you wouldn't let me like say no, because it was just a different experience. But I think really just going all in on your own journey, so many of us automatically want to help share that because we know how many people struggle with it. Like, what woman in your life do you know that's like perfectly content with herself and her body and how she's a mother and how she's in her job? Like, nobody feels like that. And it takes a lot of work in a lot of different areas that we cover, all of like the mindset work, the community work where you have a support system, the workouts, the nutrition, the shakes, like everything works together to like create a space where you can grow and become like the best version of yourself. And I just think a lot of us inherently like go through this experience and feel really good and just want to help other people and share what we're doing because we know that it like other people need what we have. Yeah. So that's why I started. That was
Okay, Irene, I'm interjecting you since you interjected me.
Yes.
You didn't have somebody like messaging you, telling you to coach, but like, I feel like your story is even not better because everybody's is different, but like, it just shows that you wanted it because like, I mean, you saw Autumn and you saw her success and her knowledge and you were like, and like her at Summit doing these fun, exciting things. And you're like, I want that life. And you chose to do it, like nobody had to make you, not that Alicia made me do it, but like yeah. That, I mean,
so that's in you before anyone had to convince you, which is a very big deal. And it's why you're still here and why you're still coaching and why you have a huge community of people who trust you. So I think that does say a lot. Yeah.
But I think a lot of people have that inherent feeling of wanting to help. And then we just get stuck or scared of what people are going to think. How was it?
Good. I agree. That's what I just did a post today about that. It kind of went back to like how I got started coaching and about feeling like I was thinking about how like before Scott got this promotion and we moved to Virginia, he was like, he had a real job and a career. And I was like pregnant with our third baby. He was delivering pizzas at like 3 or 4 nights a week to help us just like make ends meet, pay off our student loans. And it was just like this feeling of like, I'm in this rat race and I'm having another kid now. And I already felt like I was drowning in kids and mom life and laundry and all this stuff. And I was just so unhappy. And having the third kid and then finding out we had to move to Virginia away from all of our friends and all of our family, I just like, I kept hearing from my coach, Hillary, who was like encouraging me to do these challenge groups with her because I was like signed up for Beachbody because I couldn't find the energy to get me and 3 kids to the gym. So I signed up for Beachbody. And then she's like all happy. And I was like, there's no way I could like be a coach. Like Irene was talking about, I had this fear of like people judging me, kind of like what Lindsay was sharing about, like, I didn't want to, like, the only time I posted on Instagram or Facebook was like when it was like one of my kids' birthdays or like our anniversary. It was just like very minimal, like family stuff. And I didn't think, I mean, I was so like lonely and depressed that I didn't think I even had a voice. Irene and I were just talking about this the other night. I was telling her how I used to feel like even with like my husband, I couldn't just like start a conversation with him because I felt like in my own head, what I had to say was so unimportant that I didn't want him to have to like pause the TV and listen to me. So it's like, how could I like post on social media anything? Like it felt so weird. But I also was in this spiral of feeling like, is this it? Is this just our life? Because we moved to Virginia, he got this promotion, but somehow like our marriage was still not good. He was home more and we were making more money, but it still felt like we were living paycheck to paycheck because we just got a bigger house and another car, you know what I mean? And it was just like all these, it just felt like, when is this going to end? When is my life going to start? Like, is it when the kids go to college? Like, I'm going to wait until then to like find my happiness and figure out what like fills me up. And so I said yes to coaching because I was just like, I'm either going to have to like accept that this is just my life, kids, diapers, laundry, cooking dinner, and doing it all again the next day, or I'm going to like, you know, get over the fear of people judging me and like try to help someone else. So I think, I don't know. I think helping people is kind of like when I focus on that in this business, it's when everything is like really, really fun. And so like Lindsay and I on our team, like we have a goal to help like 200 people this year. And so I think when we focus our energy on like paying that gift forward, and when I think about sharing, and I don't think about like, oh, like I'm going to share this and what are people going to think? I think about sharing like my story, my struggles, in the hopes that I can like reach some mom who's feeling like I was feeling 2 years ago. So if I can get in touch, or some mom or someone out there can like, just one person can read what I have to say and feel like maybe I can do that too. Maybe there's hope or light at the end of the tunnel, then it's like totally worth maybe the one random Karen who's going to judge me. And I don't even like that one. So why is she still on my friend list? Like it's usually some random girl from high school that you're like, I hated her in high school. Why do I care what Karen thinks now? Like, I don't. And I don't know why I let like the Karens of the world stop me from doing all this. It's like someone invited me to do Beachbody back in like 2014, and I did it like before our wedding and stuff. And I always like, I sometimes think about what would have happened if I had said yes sooner. It's crazy to think about, but all right. So those are our stories. And I think we just want you to get to kind of know us and what we're about. And so whatever your story is, like, I don't know why you're here, what made you say yes, but we want to encourage you to start to think about it. And, you know, is it because you want to make more money? Is it because you wanted to like more accountability on your own health and fitness journey? Like whatever it is, like we're here to support you, whatever your goals might be. Is it because you need, just some extra money to pay your grocery bills, or you want to like go on vacations more, you want to like start saving for your kids' college, or whatever it is. I think there's like limitless possibilities with this business. And so we're going to so here's the 4 getting started. This is how you're going to get started. Lindsay's going to go through the first 3, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about how to launch your business. So Lindsay, tell them about the getting started training videos and also the warning for them.
Yeah. Okay. So in the coach office, there's getting started videos. I think there's like 3 getting started ones, and then there's other ones about other stuff we'll talk about later, but like compensation and stuff like that. But they're like 3 minutes long. So they're super short. They are cheesy, but they're short. But the one thing I will warn you, so the first one is like how to start sharing with people, your friends and your family. Second one is about like signing people up with Share a Cart. And then the third one is like about bod groups. And it's like a super quick overview. And there's more videos about like each of those topics, I think. But the one thing to be aware of, like it basically says, like if you send a message to somebody like, hey, I'm doing this group, I would love for you to join me, blah, blah, blah. and then someone says, okay, I'm interested. They say like the next thing you do is to like send them, here are your options. Like, what do you want to buy? Don't do that. Like talk to your coaches first before you do that, because we have a whole, like a lot better way to do that. A series of questions, like getting to know them and what they want.
I told Lindsay, I told Lindsay to tell you, like, we don't even want you talking to anyone unless we know what you're saying first for like the first week or two. Like, you're not allowed to just go rogue and have conversations. Because then I have coaches like randomly being like, oh, this person, can you send me the free workouts? I'm like, no, like what are their goals? Like, no, just know that you don't have to have any conversations by yourself for the first week or two. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I don't know. That just made me cringe. I'm like, no, don't do that. Okay. So we have the 4 vital behaviors, and basically 2 and 3 are 2 of those vital behaviors: personal development and be proof the products work. The other ones are like connecting, inviting, and what's the other one?
Following up.
Why am I?
It's like celebrating wins or something.
Getting people results. Yeah.
The results. Yeah.
Okay. So personal development is super important. I mean, basically you have to be on top of your own journey if you're going to be helping people with theirs. And we, like all of us coaches, like we go through phases, but like you can tell it's going to show in your business if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you aren't feeling the greatest, if you know you're slacking on things, like it's going to come across that way, even if you don't notice it. So we want to make sure that we focus on our stuff. And a big part of that is personal development. If our mindset isn't right, like the rest of it's not going to, we're not going to be on top of the rest of it. So one of the things we have is the National Wake Up Call, which you can get on, what is it, Apple Podcast or whatever it's called.
It's on podcast, but it's also, there's a Facebook group where they go, like, it's like a live every Monday morning at 11 Eastern. And, or I think it's Apple Podcasts that you can subscribe to the Beachbody Coach, like, whatever you call it, account.
I think it's like Beachbody 411 on Facebook, or it's like a page that you have to like and subscribe to. But I used to listen to the National Wake Up Calls just on the podcast, because I was like, I didn't always have time like at that, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on Facebook.
Yeah. Team Beachbody Podcast. I've actually never looked it up here, but I'm gonna follow it on
I'll do it like occasionally, but then like one day, I think when I first started, I was like, oh, okay, let me check this out. And I was like putting clothes away or something. And I listened to like 4 of them in a row, and like 3 out of 4 were like teachers. And I'm like, oh my God.
I told you, that's why I recruited you. I said, everyone that's a teacher does this and they're successful. That's all. And it was like a special ed teacher is like, they're even more successful.
But they are really inspiring stories. So you should listen to them.
And our upline coach Kaylee is speaking this coming week. So
on Monday.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Well, everyone has to watch it. Like now, I should add it to the homework after this. But
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, she's speaking about consistency.
Then we have books. Like, well, I guess it's personal development. These are personal development, kind of like for business.
Like also leadership or professional development. Yeah.
The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson and Compound Effect by, who is it, Darian or something?
Darren Hardy, I think.
Darren Hardy.
Both good.
I really like the 12-Week Year by Brian Moran or whatever too. That one was really good.
Irene, what are your personal leadership development books? What are your goals there? Or
recommendations?
Those are the ones I have my people do. Like
these are really good. These are really good to start. Mm-hmm. Soundtracks, I actually think is really helpful because it's not specifically leadership, but I think in order for us to get to leadership places in our brains, we need to listen to that first.
Yeah.
I also think we distinguish, like for me anyway, with my coaches, they're like in challenge groups, I have them doing personal development too. Like we're reading soundtracks with our challenge group right now, but like I think this personal development is more like leadership based too. So I think there should be both. Like once you decide to coach, like you probably should be listening to 10 to 15 minutes of personal, professional development and on top of the other stuff.
So I kind of already talked about number 3, but I mean, like, do all the things that you would do as a challenger. Commit to a fitness program, commit to a nutrition plan, drink your shakes, do all those things, and then share about it. So people can see, like I was watching Alicia do all of those things consistently. If I hadn't, then I might not have bought into that this stuff works.
Yeah. So hopefully like depending on where you are in your journey, like most of my coaches are coming from my challenge group. So they've already been committed to a fitness program or a nutrition plan. But like, just know that like when you start your coaching business, it's like even more important that you're doing one of our fitness programs, not just doing a workout on your own, but like something that we have, like, so one of the body workouts or a 645, whatever, like you're committed to, but starting a program from start to finish. If you haven't done that already, like we would encourage you to do that like immediately, like pick a program, like follow it from start to finish, because your audience wants to see you finish something. And that way they know that they can do it too. Like if you can do it, they can do it. That's kind of like the way this sort of works. So it's really important. It's like the most important thing. Like if you come to us and you're like, I just can't coach, I just can't do this. And we're like, okay, what are you reading? What personal development book are you reading? And what you know what I mean? Like you should, if you're not doing those things, then we're going to be like, okay, yeah, stop inviting people, stop talking to people. Like you need to go do those things first. They're the most important things. Like, so we are going to always focus and like drill into your heads that if you're not taking care of yourself, like you can't have a business. Like it's not going to happen. So, and we love you. So, for whatever reason, like we've connected with you, like you decided to trust us and help you build a business. Like we want to make sure you're taking care of yourself because we care about you as humans first. And as people that want to build a business, like second. So Irene, you want to say anything else before we move on to launching your business?
I mean, just to like drive it home, I really think that there's a lot of similarities in your personal journey on like your health and weight loss journey and like your coaching journey, because like you're going to hit the bumps, right? And it just like how in our challenge groups, we have support systems, you have a coach, you have other people showing up that motivate you. Like basically coaching is that in a coaching group, and we're doing the same thing for each other with building the business versus like going on the journey. So even though both are happening at the same time, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if we never know that you're struggling, if we never know, and I think I told you this the other day when we were talking, but like, if somebody there, you might get 100 compliments and like one person says something shitty, but that one thing can be like bugging you, and then you don't tell us or you don't get it out, and it like becomes this big, huge thing that it doesn't need to be. We expect and really encourage you to come to us like immediately when things like that happen, because we still do that. I mean, there's times where I've gone to Alicia, and once you say it, halfway through the sentence, you're like, okay, I know this is stupid and I shouldn't be bothering me like this, but just like getting it off your chest works wonders. But it can be really catastrophic if you keep it to yourself and then you just let it bother you. So it's really important to use the group and like lean on us in as many ways as you need to. And in the beginning, that might be a lot. You're not annoying us. You're not bothered. Like this is literally what we're here for, is to help you, because we've been through it too. Like we've been through the beginning, we've been through struggles, we've been through it all. So we know how to help you with it, but we have to know what's happening. So we do expect like a lot of communication in the beginning when you're starting to get used to it. We know you don't know how to do it. Like we know that you shouldn't know how to do it. You're not going to be good at it from the jump. Nobody is. Nobody's good at things that they've never done before. So I think it's important to just be in the right mindset when you're starting, like allow yourself to be excited about it, even though it's scary, and just know that we are here to help you get through all the weird stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You guys hear that? Someone texted.
Not mine.
No, it's mine. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So once you've watched those silly, kind of cheesy training videos, you picked your personal development book, you've ordered it on Amazon or whatever you can borrow. Like I've got all these books. If you can't afford a book, like message me like immediately. I will send, I've got a huge friggin' ton of books. You'll have all my highlighted notes too. So it's gonna be awesome. You've got a program you're doing, you're in our challenge group or in your coaches challenge group. The next thing that the only thing left to do really is to launch your business. So you're going to get excited, like Irene said, and you're going to let people know publicly that like you are open for business. So how we're going to do that.
I've never made any posts at all. Like I have never.
You can do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's so easy. And Irene's going to help you. It's going to be freaking awesome. Can you read and write? You can write. Right? Yeah, exactly. I promise you are like more capable than like you give yourself credit for.
I'll help you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So first step is going to be drafting your coach announcement for social media and an email list. I have not actually done this. I didn't hear this idea until couple of months ago actually, but like taking your posts on social media and putting it into an email, because you might have a ton of like contacts just in your Gmail and stuff, like people you went to college with or old professors, whoever, like that you're like maybe not connected with on social media. So you could also put it into an email list too. So basically your coach announcement or launching your business is just like letting people know that you are starting this business. And so people are going to connect more with like a feeling or a story than you being like, I'm a Beachbody coach and come join me. Like really, we want you to like think about how you were feeling like before you found Beachbody workouts. So what made you say yes to joining our community in the first place? Like, so starting to draft these ideas and getting them down onto paper is like the first step. So not thinking about posting it, but just thinking about writing. If you need pen to paper, sometimes is how I get the best thoughts out of my brain. Journaling, like, so why did you say yes? Like, what is your story? Who do you want to help? That helps me a lot too. When I stop thinking about myself and I start thinking about like, who is it? Who am I trying to help right now? And then thinking about, like Irene said, getting excited. Like, what are you most excited about? Like right now, I am so excited that we are about to launch the mixed bikes. Like, I'm like so excited. The more people I've been talking to about it, just current customers, coaches, and just people I know that are like into indoor cycling. I'm like, you guys, we are launching in like a little bit more than 2 weeks on the 21st. Mixed bikes, indoor cycling. That means that we're literally going to have everything for every single person. And I talked to a lot of like pregnant moms who are like, oh, you know, I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay. And when I was pregnant though, I used to do indoor cycling. It's like one of the only things I could do that didn't like hurt my, whatever that muscle growing is. Like my babies were all huge and I'm like a short torso person. So I was like, the only thing I could do was like indoor cycling once I was past like 20 weeks because I was just like, ginormous. So I'm excited about that. So I get excited about that. So not that you have to talk about the mixed bikes, but I just want you to think about, what are you excited about? Like, what about this opportunity? What about just not even necessarily the business opportunity, but what about our communities? Like gets you super excited. So thinking about that. And then this is kind of like the recipe for a good post. Like, why did you say yes? Who do you want to help? What are you most excited about? And then how can people connect to you? And then a CTA, which is a call to action. So I'm going to show you guys an example. This is one of our newer coaches, Sophia. Wasn't able to get on the call tonight, but this is like her literal coach launch post. And so I can post these slides too for you to go back and look if you need some ideas later, but like you can see, so she starts it with like, before I began these home workouts, before I met my amazing coach, that's me, and joined her group, I was feeling just kind of blah, just living life every day for my kids. And so she goes on to share that whole story. And then she moves into like, what is her life like now? And she says I feel like I'm living with intention. And that's so important. It's not just about losing weight. It's about expanding yourself as a person. And I love that, which led me to my decision to coach. And so then she goes on to kind of talk about who she's looking for. She said, if you're interested in starting to feel better, be more energized, be happy. So she's looking for moms who maybe aren't, energized or tired moms that are maybe like lonely, not happy. So she's looking for people who want to be more happy. And so she says that specifically. So it's really important towards the end to have a really direct like call to action, which is a CTA. So we have 2 spots open in our next group. I would love for you to do this with me. Like be specific, because people don't assume that people like know you're inviting them, but like they usually don't. So you want them to know, like, I want 2 friends to do this with me. I can't do this alone. I'd love for you to do this with me. And then let them know like how they can reach you. Message me, send me an email, text, like whatever. Let them know they can reach you in different ways. So that's kind of an example post. And then we got Lindsay's. This is like all the way back almost a year to her original launch post. I don't know why I had
so long. It's just like my life story.
It was so long. I think she had to cut it out too, parts of it, because Instagram only gives you so many characters. And I always have to like cut my posts down by like half. So look at that transformation though. That no wonder you got so many. I mean, you is amazing. Do you want to talk about your like story, your first launch post, how you felt or your thoughts?
I mean,
about it.
You can talk about me.
I would love to. Okay. So what I loved about this post is well, it was funny. First of all, you're like, does my hair make me look taller? So people were like, what? Like, cause that's not at all what they were probably thinking. They're like, whatever. So you're really funny. You're like that secret, like funny person. Like you don't like, unless you're like a smart, intelligent person, you wouldn't maybe like dumb people probably they wouldn't have even understood how funny that was. So no, obviously you're not gonna be talking about your hair, but it caught people's attention and they kept reading. And so then I loved, so this is really hard for me to read. So you said on the left, I was full of loneliness, regret, fear, anxiety. So you talked about those feelings, how you felt like alone and scared. And then you talked about how personal development and like doing affirmations in the mirror, like changed your life really. And how now like your coach kept telling you to like do these stupid affirmations in the mirror. And you were like, it's not working. It's not working. I was like, just keep doing it. It's gotta work. And then finally you're like, now I say these affirmations and I actually believe them when I say them in the mirror. So you like took people on that whole journey that you went through, which I think is like really cool. It's like you're one of my favorite people to tell when people are like, I can't do affirmations. They don't work for me. I'm like, well, okay. They don't feel like they're working until they do. It's kind of like meditation too. And you did talk about who you're looking for. You said, I hope to inspire you. So who you're looking for can also be like who you're looking for, but also like, what are you hoping to do? Like, so when you're thinking about your drafting your post, it could be like, sometimes who am I looking for might feel weird to you, especially when you're new, but if you're like, what are you hoping to do with this business? So like, I was hoping to like inspire people. And that's kind of like what Lindsay talked about too. I was hoping to inspire you, and it's just so much more fun with friends. So, and then she had a call to action at the end that said, I would love to chat more and get you more details about our next group. Who wants to join me? And she got a lot of responses and comments and stuff. So, it doesn't have to be super scary. Oh my God, you guys. Now what? So once you've launched, I forgot to change these pictures. That's not really my mom. Like that could be my grandma, but that's not my cousin either. That's a really sexy cousin. And then I've got some hippie friend from college, obviously. Oh my God. I didn't even change the name.
Amazing.
I did change. I meant to go back and change these, but okay. So you've launched your business. We have this amazing coffee shop analogy I'm going to tell you about. What we want you to do after you've drafted that post, don't post it. Send the draft, the copy to your coach. We want to go over it with you and make sure it's something you're comfortable sharing. That maybe like some stuff comes up and it feels like too much to share. Just whatever it is. We want you to we want to make sure we can help you feel really comfortable and confident about sharing it. But I have to tell you, like, sometimes it's one of those things when I first started posting, it was like post and I would like just leave I would run away from my phone because I just had to post it, get it out, and then leave. I couldn't sit there and watch people comment. It was just like really scary. So I just post and go and then come back later. But once you do launch your post, we want you to, once you're make it public, you go live with it. Not go live, I don't want you to go live, but just post it on Instagram, social media, Facebook. Then we're going to have you tell other people about it. So the coffee shop analogy is like, okay, let's say you guys, we have a brick and mortar. So you started this business, you have a brick and mortar building, like let's say you're opening up a coffee shop. Would you, if you took out a loan from the bank for $100,000 and you're like, my coffee shop is opening on September 10th, I've got I put a note outside the door, posted it up. Are you just going to sit there and wait for 2 days for someone like, okay, now maybe people are going to come? Like, there's no way you're going to do that if you owned a brick and mortar building. So we don't want you to do that now. We don't want you to just post like, hey, I'm a coach now. We really want you to like be confident and know that like you should probably be talking to people and encouraging them to come to my coffee shop. Like, I just launched it. Like, it's going to be awesome. Like, do you love espressos? Do you, it's going to be great. We're going to have, hey, Karen, I know you love stupid coffee shop music. You should come down because I'm going to have dumb coffee music and you should come. Right. So you want to let everybody know that you're opening up this coffee shop. Otherwise nobody's going to come. So first, we have this thing called your dirt list. You should be able to talk to, if you made a list of everybody that would buy dirt from you, people that love you, we want you to reach out to those people. Like, how can you get them to, like your mom, everyone's mom should be drinking Shakeology. Like, it's just like, everyone should be drinking Shakeology. It's so freaking good for you. It tastes so good if you find the right like mixture. And I don't want Irene to have like any triggers here. Like, I'm not trying to push Shakeology on people. Like, I don't kick people out of my groups for not drinking Shakeology, but I do encourage people to try it because it's been so transformative in my life and my journey. Like that, yeah, I don't even know how people aren't drinking it. Everyone could benefit from it. Everyone, especially with the launch of the mixed bikes, especially with the live workout classes that we're launching soon, it's like everybody from your mom to your grandma to your neighbor to your cousin to your hippie friend from college could benefit from something that we have to offer. And so getting out there and just asking them like, hey, I don't know if you saw my post the other day, but like, I started this online coaching business. I have no idea what I'm doing. Would you want to like maybe come do this next group with me and just like, while I'm figuring it out, just, be my guinea pig. Like, my coach is awesome. We have a great group. Like, she's going to be helping me while I'm like figuring stuff out. Can I like can you and her and I all talk and she can give you more information? Like, just have the courage to ask the people you love to help you out. They want to help you in most cases. So, yeah. And
I want to piggyback off of that because I think that like I've always felt like Beachbody's had a solution that can benefit anybody. Like, it doesn't really matter who you are. Like, it's not specific. It's not something stupid like keto. It's healthy. It's good for you. It's sustainable. Like, I've always felt like that, but I do very much feel like starting your business right now and being able to take advantage of the mixed bike launch and the live classes. Like, there isn't another platform that has all the things that we have that are at the level that they are. Like, we have the cleanest and best supplements. We have the best super trainers. We have programs, but now we're also going to have live classes. We have cooking shows and recipes and live cooking shows and meal plans and 2 things to choose from. Like, we have the support system of coaches and a team and challenge groups. Like, we literally have every single aspect that you need to be successful. So they're especially with the bike coming and the live classes coming. So I think it's really exciting. Like, I think anybody that's currently working as a Beachbody coach and that starts their business right now has a really amazing opportunity to just like blow up. like to just run with it and be able to reach a lot of people and help a lot of people with anything that they're struggling with. And I think something that a lot of people learned, even if Delta variant isn't actually something that's real, that makes us all shut down again, like even if we go back to normal life, I think a lot of people realize the benefit of working out at home. I think most people didn't understand that it could be effective, but if they tried it and if they did it and if they understood that they could do it without having to go to a gym, without having to pay more for a gym membership and pay for a personal trainer and pay for somebody to make the meal plans, like it makes so much sense. So the more we understand that and we believe it and we share it in our stories and social media, and when we're talking to people and they can feel that excitement about it, the more fun it's going to be for us to share this. Like that's it. That's kind of like the whole point, right? But yeah, it is such a good opportunity. And I've worked in the field. I've been a personal trainer. I've been a nutrition coach who charged people $100 an hour just to give them one meal plan. Like the value in this is insane. So it's definitely like, I don't know. I feel like we let a lot of things get in the way, that's like fear of stuff. But when you take a step back and really like look at the big picture and the reality of it, this solution is so helpful and so impactful and can be just so impactful for so many people. So it's basically our job to do that, to tell people about it, to explain it to them, to show them how it works, to show them how we're changing and transforming on our own journey, so that if they're looking for it, they can feel the same way that we do.
Yeah. And to piggyback on what you're saying too, you said something that made me think of maybe you don't have the belief that Irene has because she's been doing this for so long, or that I have, or that Lindsay has. Maybe you haven't gotten your own results like this yet, or you've never helped somebody get results like Irene or Lindsay or I have. Like you can borrow our belief in it. Like if you trust us and you see other women having success and, helping other people, like that's enough to know that it works. Just because you haven't necessarily helped someone, or maybe you haven't hit your personal health and fitness goals, does not mean that you can't steal all the belief and all the confidence that Irene and Lindsay and your coaches have. We are going to let you borrow as much of that belief as you need, because you don't have to do this alone. When you're talking to people, when you're having these conversations with people, you don't have to say, I'm going to help you, get here, here, and here. You can say, I have a team of coaches that we work together to help you reach your goals. Because that's the truth. My new coaches, we put you guys in a group. We all do it together. I know Irene's running a group with her coaches. And so you just know, all you have to know is what you're inviting to. And so on my team, we do a new challenge group each month at the beginning of the month. And so all of my new coaches, my entire downline, you're all welcome to be in there, to be a coach in there. You'd be an admin in there. And so you'd be inviting your people in there, and you'd be part of that group and the leadership of that group. So just as long as you know what you're inviting to, just have the confidence and belief that it works, and we know it works. And if it hasn't worked for you yet, that's okay, because it's worked for other people, the other people on their health and fitness journeys, but in the same token, other people in their businesses too. You know what I mean? When I first started coaching, it was when I started learning about how much other coaches were making, I was like, holy crap, if they could do it, I for sure can do it. You know what I mean? I know that I can do this. It's just a matter of time, putting in the consistent work over time, and getting really brave and sharing your story as openly and as authentically as you can. And it's really scary. So especially if you've never ever posted. Do you have social media? Do you have Facebook?
I do. It's after my youngest son was born, I had really bad postpartum depression. And that just the reason I started was because my doctor told me to get on antidepressants, and I just didn't want to. Mm-hmm. So that's what pushed me to start. And since then I haven't, social media has just been something I go to for entertainment, I guess.
Okay. So let me say something on that. And you don't have to do this now, but eventually that's going to be something that you can connect with people about if you feel comfortable with it. because every once in a while I'll throw in a post about like my anxiety or depression. And I have like people that crawl out of the woodwork and then are like, hey, like, I'm not ready now, but I just want to thank you for that post. Or, hey, I really connected with that. Like, what are you doing? Like, what helped you? Just like that, send me private messages. Maybe they're not going to comment, but you never know who you're going to reach with stuff like that. So use that as like a positive thing. And obviously you don't have to come out in your post and be like, hey, I'm depressed. Do you want to join me?
I would 100% talk about you being a mom who was there, had postpartum depression, and your doctor told you to go on antidepressants and you didn't want to, and you decided to go a different path.
Yeah.
That's like your story. That's your launch post. Like, I can't tell you how many women would be like, yeah, me too. Like, me too. Where was this when my baby was, you know what I mean? Like, I wish I had done this sooner, like, because I was like struggling for a year, almost a year, like with this third baby and like my postpartum that I didn't even ever get help. You know what I mean? So I think you sharing about that would be amazing.
And he was about a year old once when I finally talked to the doctor, and he's 6 now.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
You do have a transform. You've sent me transformations before from when you've seen.
Yeah, I've lost
found
about
old
60
pictures.
pounds so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You have such a good story. I can't wait to see this post because it's going to be amazing. If you just start to think, like I said, I'll send these slides and start to just think about your story. But I think you've got something there with the not wanting to do the antidepressants, wanting to just think like a more holistic way to get out of this. And then meeting Irene and like how she changed her life. It's huge.
I was actually with a different coach, and she forced me into coaching, and she's like, okay, now just do it and send cold invites. And it was just not something I enjoyed. It was a bad experience.
But that's also part of your story. Because when you start talking to people about coaching and recruiting people, you'll just like how I talk to people about Shakeology, how I like was super turned off because so like the person that's coaching you or that's mentoring you makes all the difference, you know, like it can completely change the experience that you have with it.
Because she never even told me about the first post or anything. It was just do it, send cold invites, and that's it.
Well, we really want to work with you guys on like not creating a brand, but like figuring out who you're talking to. And that's usually like figuring out who you are, who you were before you found Beachbody or before you found Irene is more like what I would think about. Not the first Beachbody, but like before you found Irene's community. And yeah, and once you figure out who you were, then you kind of know who you're talking to, because usually you're talking to the person that you were right before you found the solution. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for you guys. So this is basically going to be your homework. We want you to start drafting that launch post, creating just some ideas on paper, getting it down, and then maybe message Irene, like maybe right after this call, I would message Irene and you two can talk about like pick a date that you're going to have this done by. So I work better with deadlines. So it's like, if I know I'm going to do this on Sunday or Friday, whatever it is, like whatever your schedule allows for, pick a date and then start working on it. That's what I would do.
Okay. I will just say one thing, because I know that this homework is scary. The launch post is, especially if you never post anything, it's scary, but then the afterwards part can be scary too. Like, I know I posted mine and then like I had some people just message me, but then of course I sent messages like, hey, thanks for liking my post, blah, 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 blah. And when people started,
don't tell her about that part. Yeah, that'll totally.
No, well, you said, no, listen, sign up friend and like, don't, but like, what I'm saying is like, that part is when I like panicked and like getting all these messages. I'm like, what do I do now? Like now I'm saying like, hey, I'll help you, but like, I don't know how. And so like you mentioned, Alicia, earlier, like, it's okay to say like, hey, I'm new to this. Like, can we like talk with my coach and like, we're going to help you together? Because, and I don't know, I did that for a while. Like we had 3-way conversations because you need to feel comfortable and like know how it works and what works, but then also you learn your own way to say things. So like I'm not going to message people the way that Alicia does maybe, but like the principles of it, the structure of it, but like, I'm not going to use her language. Like I'll change it up, but
You don't,
like,
you don't
just
like, hey, you don't say
use your
that.
coach. Don't be like panic because you don't know what to do. Of course you don't know what to do yet. It's okay.
Mhm. It's good. It'll be good. I'm excited.
Yes, me
I
too.
love writing posts. So if you need help, I know Irene and I are like, we'll totally help. We love. It's my favorite thing. I'm like guilty of probably drafting posts for new coaches, like being like, okay, they send me like 3 things. I'm like, here's what you're gonna write. They're like, oh my God. I gotta stop it. So never mind. Don't message me. I'll end up writing the whole thing. I'm already like thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna draft this for her right now. I love this story.
And I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. So
You got a good start for sure. And you have a really good coach.
yes, definitely.
She cares too much, so much. Oh my gosh.
It's true.
Yes. But that's the one cool thing is like, I know, like for me, like I'm not going anywhere. So like, I know some people sign up with coaches who end up quitting or whatever. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. And I know Irene's here forever, as long as you're ready to work and do your thing. So
Yeah.
with Lindsay. So we'll all be here for you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, I
Go
guess
do your homework.
go do your homework. I gotta pee so bad. I'm gonna like pee my pants a little bit. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, it's still
Thank you
recording. I
so
thought I
much.
stopped the recording. My bad.